Hey, what's up, guys? So, why are you staring at a pile of plaster? Well, I'll tell you why. All of that came out of what used to be a kitchen. This is half of my house. I live in a double house, but I own both sides of the house. This side was pretty much just used for storage for the past couple of years, but I decided I'm gonna start fixing it up. So here's where I'm at right now. This was supposed to be a simple job, but of course, if anybody has done any remodeling to an older home, you know that as soon as you start one project, it just turns into a bunch of crap that you find wrong. This was supposed to be just a simple take out the kitchen cabinets and tear out the lath board and plaster and put up drywall. And it turned into a huge job, of course. I found a bunch of problems. First problem everybody always wondered was, why the hell is it so cold in the kitchen all the time? Well, the wall straight in front of you and this wall are both exterior walls. And the first thing I noticed when I took down the plaster, they're not insulated. There isn't a piece of insulation to be found. So that's half the reason why it's so damn cold in here. And the other reason is, when I took off the plaster, I found a heating vent behind the plaster that they just went right over. Didn't even put a piece of metal over it or anything. Just, yeah, let's just put plaster over it. And of course it runs upstairs to a bedroom too. So they just blocked it off. I don't even know what to say about that. This is the kind of shit that you find though when you start doing stuff to an older house, and even some newer houses. The electrical, I don't even know what to say. Everything in the kitchen is run off of power from this outlet in the dining room here. So they had 6 plugs, a switch for a fan, and of course the light up above, all running off power from one switch. Plus there's a wire that goes outside to the porch light. So it's a big rat's nest of wiring. It's all, well, 90% of it is that aluminum wiring. And I think that piece right there is the only piece of copper wire in this whole kitchen. So, and you find things like this hidden in the wall. That's a splice where they didn't have enough wire. You move up, of course the wire's right on the hot and cold water pipes. So heaven forbid if there was ever a tear or a cut in that insulation and it touched the pipes, and you go to turn the water on and you get knocked on your ass. So here's another set of wiring that was just sitting in the wall like that. They did put a cap on it, but nice little piece of electrical tape. Yeah, that's not really a fire hazard. There's a junction box up here. Another, A+ wiring job. Look at the ceiling light. They had to put a little extension on the wires. Look at all that damn tape. There's like 2 rolls of tape on that wire. For God's sakes. Oh. Luckily, like I said, this is all, my area of expertise. I know what I'm doing when it comes to this kind of stuff. I've been a carpenter for the past 10 or 11 years, so I know what I'm looking at and I know how to fix it, but If it was somebody else, that just wanted to do a simple job, and halfway through they wonder why, their budget's 3 or 4 times higher. It's because of crap like this that you find. The plumbing, surprisingly, wasn't that bad. There are a couple of pipes that need replaced. No insulation on the piping underneath the floor either. So underneath the floor is just a crawl space that you can get to from the basement. And of course it's a cold zone and there's no insulation on the pipes. But these pipes go to the bathroom, to the bathtub, and to the sink and whatnot. And a lot of people wonder why, when they turn their water on in an older house, and even some newer houses, why their pipes bang when they turn on the water. Well, when you have a pipe that can do this, flop all around, you're going to get banging pipes. They should have just put some clamps on here to hold it, up against the floor, instead of it just hanging there. They have used clamps some places. This kind of clamp I'm talking about, just to hold the pipe in place. So, some pieces have it, some don't. That's why your pipes bang. Luckily the waste lines look pretty good, so I don't have to deal with them. These pipes here for the kitchen sink, I'll be replacing those because sooner or later this floor is coming up, so it'll be a lot easier to get to it from above than trying to go in the crawl space and put new plumbing in and all that. The framing on this house is another nightmare. I don't know who framed this house, but look at this window. See if you can tell me what's wrong with that. You see that's 2 boards in the middle, 2 studs in the middle above the window? Well, they're carrying the weight from the 2nd and 3rd floor, and they're trying to transfer it down to the foundation. Well, when you have a board, it's fine on this side. You can see the stud comes down, comes across to a plate on top, which actually should be doubled up. There should be 2 2x4s here for extra thickness. And if you come over here, it's not sitting on anything. They just came in from the side of another stud with a couple of nails and held it. So when pressure's pushing this down, this side's fine because it's transferring the weight all the way down. But this side, there's nothing. So that's, a structural issue, problem, definitely. That'll have to be fixed. And here's the drain line for the sink. Let me grab the light. The drain line for the sink, what they felt like doing is just cutting 3/4 of the stud out. It's holding the house up to make room for the drain line for the sink. Same thing over here, and threw a couple nails there to hold the pipe in place and bent them over. Well, what the hell is this holding? You got like an inch of wood holding up underneath that window where all the weight's being transferred down from the 2nd and 3rd floor. Same thing over here above the doorway. The only thing wrong with that is, like I said, this top 2x4 right here should be doubled up. You can see I put a couple new 2x4s in there, just for now, just to temporarily keep things a little bit stronger than what the hell they were. Over there, up in the corner, you can see a new piece of wood I had to put in there. There was nothing there. That whole section where you see the newer wood, there was nothing there. Okay, that's holding up the floor rafter. for the second floor. Go up here, you can actually see right through. Get the light again. You can actually see right through to the other half of the house. That's the half that I live on. Look at all those spider webs. Anyways, you got pipes here on the wall that that were changed out. They left the old piping in there, so that was an old drain line. That's just hanging out there. I mean, you don't have to remove it, I guess, if you're not using it, but why not just take it out while you're in there? That's an exhaust line for a fan. God, what else is wrong? Let me get the hell off the ladder. There's 2 layers. 2 layers of hardwood floor. 2 layers of hardwood floor and another layer of linoleum, I guess. That yellow there. I don't know who decided that was a good idea, but that's ugly as sin. There was actually like bright green fake tile peel and stick crap on the walls that I found, so I don't know, I guess somebody did a little bit of renovations at one point, but never took it down to the studs or the subfloor where all the problems are. The other problem is with the framing again. What you're supposed to do is lay your floor first, okay? Your floor joists, as you can see right there, you're supposed to lay that first and then build the wall on top of that. Okay, what they must have done is built the walls and then put the floor in. Well, you say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, again, being so cold in this house, and being that they put in the walls first, these cavities actually go underneath the floor to the crawl space where it's cold. So even if you did have insulation in these holes, air can get into the end of the insulation and come the whole way up the walls, and it's basically doing nothing again. So these could have been insulated, but when you got cold air coming from the floor rising up the walls when the ends of the insulation are exposed under the floor, it's not doing anything. So that's what you can see the 2x4s that I'm putting in these cavities to separate that cold zone from the wall. So when I bring my insulation down, it'll stop right here on top of there, and the air can't get in the end of it and travel up the walls. Of course, the window is the original window, so it's single pane glass, which is not any kind of energy efficient at all. So that doesn't help with it being cold. There wasn't any insulation in the cracks. Of course, I put some spray foam down here at the bottom of it just for now. Yeah, you can see how they, if you look down in, let's see if I can get a shot of it here. If you look down in there, that actually goes to the crawl space on the other half of the house that I live on. Okay, so there's your foundation, and again, being that these two areas aren't separated by a board or something here, and also coming across the top, even if you insulated this floor, if there's nothing here to stop air from getting in the end of the insulation, it's not doing anything. So the cold air could come in from the other half, the crawl space, and once again, there you are. Thank God the gas line is alright. I have to look in the crawl space for the, to double check that, but it looks alright. That's about it. hopefully, till I take out the floor and find something else wrong. But there's another. Oh, check this out. Here's that floor joist for the second floor. There's the piece of wood that I had to replace because there was nothing there. Follow this all the way over to the other side. What the hell is that holding? It's not even sitting on anything. It's just hanging there. It's not sitting on top of a stud or anything. It's just nailed into the sides of the studs of the walls. So, anyways, didn't want to make this video too long, but I had to get out everything I was trying to say. Oh, one last thing. The second floor, right above me, right above those pipes, is the bathtub in the bathroom. Let me move the ladder. Right above those pipes is the bathtub. Now, when you got your bathtub full of water, that's a lot of weight coming down on these floor joists. Now, if you look right here, the floor joist comes down and it sits on top of this piece of wood. Well, what the hell is this? It's like a 1x4. It's 3/4 of an inch thick. Okay? It's held in with 3 nails. And it's notched into the 2x4. So the entire weight of the bathroom and everything above it, think of the bathtub full of water, hundreds of pounds, on this side of the house is being supported by this board with a couple nails, a 3/4 inch board. So obviously I can't take the floor joists out and redo everything, so my solution is 2x4 blocks, which are notched around that board, go up to the bottom of the floor joist. They're construction adhesive glued onto there with a 3/8 inch hardened steel grade 8 bolt washer, a lock washer, and a nut. So now, hopefully, any weight that is being transferred down on there, which is quite considerable, will be on those blocks instead of just on that board. I have to put one in here yet and one in there. The corner's fine because it actually is sitting on top of a stud, but there's the 2 blocks there I gotta put on. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that you can run into when you're dealing with older houses, especially. You know, they didn't have the building codes nowadays that we have back then, so pretty much anything went back then, and you just got to be cautious of it. Some things that are hidden in the walls can be really dangerous and they need fixed, and you'd never know they're there unless you took it all down like I did. So that's going to be it on the video. Like I said, just wanted to make this to show people what could be hidden in your house. So if your contractor says, hey, it's going to be 3 times as much, don't get mad at them. Ask them what the problems are. Thanks for watching.